Video games have been part of our lives for decades, and the consoles we played them on helped define entire generations. From living room family fun to epic solo adventures, consoles have given us some of our best gaming memories. Today, we're looking back at the greatest video game consoles of all time, the systems that changed the industry, broke records, and left a permanent mark on gaming history. We started with the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, released in North America in 1985. At the time, the gaming industry had nearly collapsed after the 1983 video game crash. Confidence in video games was at an all-time low, but the NES changed everything. With titles like Super Mario Bros., Metroid, and The Legend of Zelda, the NES didn't just bring back video games. It laid the blueprint for what console gaming would become. It introduced iconic franchises, standardized the home console controller, and gave us the first real sense of narrative adventure in gaming. And let's not forget, the NES also cemented Nintendo's reputation as the king of innovation in gaming. Without the NES, the video game industry as we know it might not even exist. If the NES saved the industry, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System perfected it. Released in 1991, the SNES brought 16-bit graphics, richer sound, and deeper gameplay experiences. It's remembered as the golden age of 2D gaming with classics like Super Mario World, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, Donkey Kong Country, Street Fighter II, and Chrono Trigger. These weren't just games, they were cultural milestones. The NES also introduced Mode 7 graphics, which allowed for pseudo 3D effects that blew people's minds at the time. Racing around in Super Mario Kart or flying in Pilot Wings showed gamers something they'd never seen before. Even today, SNES games are studied, speedrun, and re-released because they represent peak design, simple to pick up, yet endlessly replayable. Next comes the Sony PlayStation, released in 1994. This was Sony's first step into gaming, and it was a giant leap. The PlayStation changed everything by embracing CD-ROM technology. That meant bigger games, full-motion video, voice acting, and more complex worlds than what cartridges could handle. This console gave us Final Fantasy VII, which blew minds with its cinematic storytelling, Metal Gear Solid, which redefined stealth gameplay, and Resident Evil, which kickstarted survival horror. And let's not forget mascots like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon. The PlayStation just didn't compete with Nintendo and Sega. It reshaped the industry, paving the way for 3D gaming and cementing Sony as a gaming giant. Then came the PlayStation 2, released in 2000. To this day, it's still the best-selling video game console of all time, with over 155 million units sold worldwide. Its success came from three things: a massive library of games, backward compatibility with PS1 titles, and the fact that it doubled as an affordable DVD player at a time when those were expensive. For many households, the PS2 was their first DVD player and gaming system in one. The library is legendary. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Final Fantasy X, Kingdom Hearts, God of War, Shadow of the Colossus, the list goes on forever. The PS2 just didn't dominate sales, it created entire gaming generations. If you grew up in the 2000s, chances are the PS2 was a part of your life. The mid-2000s brought the Xbox 360, Microsoft's breakout success. Released in 2005, it quickly became the home of HD gaming. The 360's real legacy lies in Xbox Live. Online gaming wasn't new, but the 360 made it mainstream, simple, and social. Voice chat, friends list, achievements, all of these became standard features because of the 360. The lineup was equally strong. Halo 3 defined multiplayer shooters, Gears of War pushed graphics forward, and Mass Effect showed us storytelling on a grand scale. Third-party support was massive, with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare making competitive online gaming a cultural phenomenon. Yes, the infamous Red Ring of Death haunted it, but even with hardware issues, the Xbox 360 remains one of the most influential consoles ever made. Then there was the Nintendo Wii, released in 2006. While Microsoft and Sony were focused on HD graphics, Nintendo went in a completely different direction. motion controls. The Wii became a worldwide sensation, selling over 100 million units. It wasn't just for hardcore gamers. Families, grandparents, even people who had never played a video game before were bowling in Wii Sports. It also gave us an unforgettable Nintendo staple: Mario Kart Wii, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. The Wii proved that accessibility and fun could outshine pure power, and it brought gaming into living rooms around the world like never before. Finally, we have the Nintendo Switch, launched in 2017. The Switch broke boundaries with its hybrid design: play it on TV or take it on the go. It's been home to instant classics: The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Plus, its multiplayer hits like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe keep players coming back. With over 140 million units sold and counting, the Switch has already cemented itself as one of the most successful and beloved consoles of all time. Of course, no list is complete without its honorable mentions. The Sega Genesis, which gave us the great Nintendo-Sega rivalry and Sonic the Hedgehog. The Nintendo 64 with 4-player couch gaming and titles like GoldenEye 007 and Ocarina of Time. The Game Boy, the handheld that dominated for over a decade. The Dreamcast, ahead of its time with online play and a unique library, even if it burned out too soon. And more recently, the PlayStation 4, which delivered powerhouse exclusives like The Last of Us Part 2 and God of War. These consoles didn't just play games. They shaped childhoods, influenced culture, and changed the way we experienced entertainment. Whether you were jumping on Goombas, battling in Halo, or exploring Hyrule, each of these systems left a legacy that continues today. But now, I want to hear from you. What's your greatest console of all time? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss more deep dives into gaming history.